Ain't nothing better than watching you smile. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ain't nothing better than watching you laugh out loud, my baby. Ain't nothing better than watching you be you. Ain't nothing better than right now. In your eyes lie the secrets I don't wanna miss. Put your hand in my hand.
The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock says. Finally, Trepacer has come back to Saturday night. Hey, I'm back. I apologize for not being here last week to do my traditional Saturday night reviews. I came down with a little flu, so I had to rest up and come back stronger than ever. And like I said, finally, I'm back at semi full strength. So it's Saturday. Why not continue my tradition that was broken last week? I apologize for that. And again, I have two movies to review. It's Animation Saturday. Let's put it that way. I have two animated movies to review that I watched today, so let's review them. Okay, the first movie that I'll be reviewing is a movie that I'd seen before. It's been out, and actually this movie is based on a book that I had never read as a kid. Apparently this is a kid's book. And by way of a little history here, I saw the trailer for part two of this, and I absolutely fell in love with the trailer, so I said, and then I wound up doing a trade actually to get these two movies that I will be reviewing from a great fellow YouTuber from Australia, Emirate666. Okay, the first movie that I'm talking about, of course, is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. There it is right there. Let's say I watched this morning, and like I said, I saw the trailer for part two to this without having seen part one, and absolutely fell in love with the trailer for part two. So, and I had heard about this, so I finally gave it a watch today. And basic story of this is this guy right here, the skinny guy there, is called Flint Lockwood. He's as a young kid, he's always wanted to be a scientist, and of course, his first experiment, which is supposed to be, I think, stringless shoes, winds up being a total disaster, and he runs home after being made fun of, and his mother convinces him that no, he is going to be a genius. Okay, and which sets him on his path to trying to invent everything, basically, and having some failures, some success, but mostly failures. Okay, and the little town that he lives in, it's a little town that has like a sardine cannery is their primary source of income. But then again, that cannery gets shut down, and so the town's kind of hurting for something to thrive their economy. And Flint decides his latest invention, which will turn water into food. Okay, and he by circumstances he invents something. Not by that circumstances, but he it kind of goes wacky. The experiment, when the mayor of the town is supposed to be unveiling this sardine land, it actually starts raining food, and then he becomes, of course, a big hero to his town because then his invention starts, these people start ordering stuff for food, and he can actually send direct instructions up to his machine that's in the atmosphere and start raining down food all over the place. Okay, and it becomes a big deal, of course, to his town, which totally revives the town and to everybody around. And of course, you get a reporter that comes, actually an intern actually, that comes to his town to cover it. Her name is Sam Sparks. That's the lady there with the umbrella. She gets sent there by her big city editor to cover this cannery opening, as a favor, I think. And of course, that's when she encounters Flint and Lockwood, and then they get to know each other, and then she sees firsthand all this little, the food stuff that he invents and stuff. And I really, really enjoyed this movie. I also forgot about Steve, the monkey, Flint Lockwood's monkey who carries around a translator, which is absolutely hilarious. And this movie is, I actually really, really love this movie. This movie is so funny. Okay, like I said, you have Flint Lockwood, and you have the character of his mom. You have his dad, who runs a tackle shop, and his father kind of wants Flint to kind of give up the inventions and work with him in the tackle shop. But of course, Flint wants to be, he wants to be liked and he wants to be famous, of course. So he like I say, he invents this machine and he becomes famous. Like I said, and he meets Sam Sparks here, the reporter, and she's actually really smart, and she kind of tries to hide it. Okay, but Flint notices that, and it's a really good, fun movie. Okay, and basically what happens is, like I said, he starts inventing all this food for the town, and the town thrives and stuff, and everything starts looking up for him in the town, and the whole world is, the mayor of the town, voiced actually by Bruce Campbell in this movie. He starts, of course, loving this because it revitalizes the town, and the mayor becomes, like I said, obsessed with this machine. Okay, and then of course, as you would figure, something starts going horribly wrong with the machine. Okay, and then then it goes from there. Okay, the rest of the movie, which I don't want to spoil. Okay, and like so, you have all these sort of characters in this movie. You have Mr. T, who's like he's like the cop, the local cop. Okay, and he has a little son that he's absolutely crazy about, which I thought was one of the charms of this movie. Then you have Baby Brent, who was like the official mascot of the winery, not the cannery, as a kid, and then he's of course a grown man, and he's still kind of leeching off that fame, and that's played by Andy Samberg. Okay, and like I said, Anna Faris plays Sam Sparks, and Bill Hader plays Flint Lockwood. The voice work is great in this movie, and what I also love about this movie, they have little, the humor is great in this, and the animation I absolutely love. And what I love about this movie is you get these little things in the background that like, I'll give you for instance, as growing up, Flint, when they show like a flash of him growing up, they saw all these things that he tries to invent, and one was the remote control TV, and you see the TV actually get up and actually grow legs and run out. Okay, and then later in the movie, you see that remote control TV around in certain scenes, and it's subtle. You have to watch it, and pay attention, and you have little things like that. And then there's also another great scene when the machine goes wacky, and it's basically raining down these gigantic things of food all over the place, and you have these two guys. One guy says the end of the world is now, and one guy says the end of the world is coming soon, I think, or something like that, or maybe next month or something like that. And then of course the guy with the coming soon sign, he gets clobbered with food, and then of course the guy that has the world ends today, he goes, I knew it, I was right. And it's funny. It has just a lot of subtle humor in the background that you see, which makes it absolutely thoroughly enjoyable. But ultimately, like I said, this movie's about family and stuff, and I love the relationship between Flint Lockwood and his dad, who's Tim Lockwood, who is played by James Caan, the father, who's just who wants his son to grow up and work with him. And of course, Flint doesn't want that. He wants to be liked and famous, and he has this passion for invention. And of course, and his mother believed in him, and of course, his mother passed. And I like that relationship. And also, you got the Earl Devereux, played by Mr. T, the cop, and his relationship with his young son, Cal, which is he absolutely is crazy about his son, about the law and his son. Those are two things he's crazy about, and I absolutely really love this. And I love, like I said, the relationship between Flint Lockwood and Sam Sparks, who's the intern who turns reporter, who's really smart and is really kind of tries to hide it. And of course, Flint likes her, and you see a little bit of their budding romance, which is really good. And this movie's just a really sweet movie, and I'm going to give this movie a 8 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed this movie, so definitely highly recommend this. And now, last but not least, next movie I'm reviewing is Chicken Little, another animated movie that I saw previously on the Disney Channel, I think a couple of years ago. And Chicken Little, of course, is based on the famous children's story. And Chicken Little of course, he's afraid of everything. He starts to cause a panic in the town that he lives in, but he's determined, of course, to restore his reputation. Okay, and he has his little crew that he hangs out with. He has the Abby Marlin, who's the ugly duckling. You have Run of the Litter, which is like an oversized pig. Then you have the Fish Out of Water, who is an hilarious character that has a tank on his head that's really a fish. Okay, and of course, during when he's trying out for the baseball team and stuff, and basically their world gets invaded. One of their, say, an alien ship accidentally leaves one of the little kids in the town, and of course then the aliens come back looking for it, and of course Chicken Little's trying to warn everybody, but of course because of his reputation they don't believe him. So it's basically him trying to convince everybody that he's right, and him and his friends trying to save the town, from these alien invaders. And it's a really, really fun movie for me. I really enjoyed it, and it has, again, lots of good humor in it. And you got a lot of good voice acting in this also. You have Adam West in this. You got Patrick Warburton. You have Zach Braff as Chicken Little. You have Gary Marshall. You have Don Knotts, Patrick Stewart, Steve Zahn, Joan Cusack, Wally Shawn, Harry Shearer, Fred Willard, Catherine O'Hara. And it's, like I said, you have it's a really fun movie to me. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, the alien, Chicken Little, him trying to make the baseball team and stand up to everybody. And also his father, he has kind of a distant relationship with his father, of course, and of course because his mother, again, another movie where the mother dies early, and of course, and the son and the father have a kind of an estranged relationship. But I love the way, again, this movie is about family, and I love the way they come together in the end, and basically to try to save the town from this alien attack. And it's just really, really good. It's funny, and it's humorous, and I really, really enjoyed it. Chicken Little. It's just, like I said, the animation was top notch, and a lot of good songs in this, and like I said, a lot of the characters are funny, like the Run with the Litter, excuse me, which is the giant pig, is hilarious. I like Foxy Loxy, and which is like a fox, of course, voiced by Amy Sedaris. She's absolutely hilarious. She loves to tease Chicken Little and stuff, and I love, like I said, the relationship between Chicken Little and his dad, okay, and how it comes together. And like I said, and also, like I said, you have there's a kind of a movie within a movie thing that happens towards the end of the movie, and of course that involves Adam West. And I love the way they show that. And like I said, you have a lot of great songs in this, and I definitely highly recommend this. Okay, Chicken Little. I'll give it Chicken Little a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's as good as Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, but I think it's good and entertaining. Okay, so definitely Chicken Little. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Definitely worth seeing. And Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I'd absolutely love this movie. Love the animation. Love the humor in it. Love the little subtle things that are happening in the background. Pay attention to all those subtle little things that happen in the background when the main story is going on. It'll just make you crack up, and I love the little romance between these two characters as well. And it's just a really good movie. And again, another movie about father and son relationships, which I really, really appreciate and love. Okay, so that's my reviews for Saturday. Again, I'm glad to be back, and again, I apologize for being sick. But I'm back, better than ever, hopefully. Okay, let me know what you think of those two titles. Feel free to leave your comments down below. This is Trepacer saying so long and take care.